but what a year in politics it has been in 2024, and 2025 set to be absolutely massive. Joining me at the desk to look back and preview the political year ahead, Hawker Britton co-founder and former Labor advisor, Bruce Hawker. How are you, Bruce?
I'm very well, Tim, and I hope you had a great Christmas.
Yeah, it was good. No more eating needed for any of us, I don't think.
Indeed.
And then New Year's comes. But look, where to start on a year that we've just seen? Let's start with the US election, because I think that all eyes from all around the world were watching in fascination.
Yeah, and as it turned out, we've got Trump Mark II, and any suggestion, I think, that he was going to be a more benign version of himself are going out the window. Some of the things that we're hearing at the moment about his foreign policy posturing, taking back Panama and Greenland and other places.
Making Canada the 51st state. Is that all posturing, you think?
It is largely, yeah. I think so. But of course, what he's getting now into the space where actually he has to deliver. And one of the things that's come out over the last couple of days that's very interesting is a conflict between Musk and the Silicon Valley people and more hardline nationalists backing Trump. Silicon Valley says, look, it's all very well and good to have no illegal immigrants, but we must have more immigrants coming in on visas. And a lot of these hardline nationalists, nativist Americans, are saying, no, we don't want immigrants, full stop. And so this is where it becomes complex for Trump. It's very easy to appeal to a broad spectrum of potential voters with conflicting messages, just honing in on a bit of the message that they want to hear. It gets harder when you actually have to form a government and make decisions about how many visas you are going to issue, for example.
Absolutely. What about the Queensland election, closer to home?
Well, it was a hard-fought election, as it turned out. I mean, Labor was well and truly ready for a spell on the benches. And that's what happens largely in politics. Governments run out of steam, and I think that was an example of it. But Miles did a pretty good job in keeping the numbers up on the Labor side so that they can be a competitive opposition.
Anthony Albanese had a challenging 2024, probably finished a little higher, like from the Voice to the Holiday House. There were plenty of stories.
Yeah, he was terribly distracted by a lot of stuff when he really should have just been able to and should have been concentrating on the economy. I think now it's a bit harder for Dutton because he's in the spotlight too. What will his policies mean for people? And and he took a bit of a hammering over nuclear. That wasn't an easy argument to maintain. He's got to keep that up. So, the playing field sort of levels out a little bit now as both parties have to really demonstrate that they are capable of governing and not just criticising the other.
Those on the Conservative side of politics will say that Peter Dutton is very, very happy with the outcome in Victoria. Those on the left may say that the disruption and disturbance is unwanted. What do you make of all that? Because we're not far away from the election.
No. Well, Victoria is very interesting because it's a state where Labor stands to lose a number of seats. It's a government which is really not particularly popular at the moment at a state level. And the Dutton opposition really needs to pick up, half a dozen or more seats in Victoria to have any chance of governing in their own right. So solving the issue of the leadership at a state level is good, but they've got to stop talking about that and move on to the issues that are really concerning Victorians, and they have to reunite the administrative wing of the party, the part of the party that actually puts together the campaign, which would be pretty bruised at the moment as a result of the internal ructions that have led to Pizzuto's removal. Very, very damaging for the Victorian Labor Party.